What's going on, buddy? Gaming Magic 13 around. Welcome back to some more, welcome to another 100% walkthrough here on the channel. This is going to be a reboot of one of my walkthroughs that, even though I really love the game I did it for, I didn't actually 100% the game. So I would like to redo the walkthrough again, where I actually do 100% the game and collect everything, even though you don't get anything for 100%ing the game. I would still like to do it so that I can say I have 100% walkthrough for this game. Anyway, so let me just put the disc into the console, and we shall get started. I don't really know why I'm so secretive with these things, because you already know what it is from the title and the thumbnail. Dragon's Lair 3D, Return to the Lair. This is quite possibly my favorite game of all time. Maybe, if it's not my favorite game, then it's definitely one of my favorite games of all time. I had a lot of fun doing the original walkthrough for this. It's one of my, still to this day, is one of my most popular walkthroughs, which the first episode having, at the time of recording, 3,444 views, and each subsequent episode managing to almost hit 1,000 views. So, clearly a lot of people like this, and I'm excited to redo it because I love this game, and I didn't quite finish it, so I finished it, but I didn't finish it 100%, so I would like to redo it, like I said, and I actually don't remember if I did this in the original walkthrough, but I am going to be making a mild alteration to the game. Nothing nothing that's gonna impact gameplay. I am going to instead. There's a thing you can do in this game where if you've beaten it, or maybe it's if you've beaten it, I'm not sure. Hold down right trigger, click left analog stick, right analog stick, left analog stick, right analog stick, then white, black, and start game. Now we have a list of things we can use. Some of these alter gameplay, such as unlimited mana, continuous fire sword, and sword time. Others are only aesthetic differences, such as pencil test characters and smooth shaded characters. I'm simply going to use smooth shaded characters to allow for a prettier experience. Without further ado, let's start up Dragon's Lair 3D, Return to the Lair, 100% walkthrough. I will be showing you where every single collectible in this game is, 100 out of 100 collectibles. Let's do it.
can speak to you through the amulet. I might be able to help you find me.
Yes, you can hear that vibration from the microphone. That's how strong it is. Anyway, let's get down to some basic controls. Okay, so the X button is your, for at least for Xbox, X button is your action button. Can't do that yet because X away. Okay, let's do it in a better order. A is to jump. White withdraws. Black withdraws your sword, and white withdraws your crossbow, which we don't currently have. Hold left trigger and move forward to run, and then hold left stick forward and press the right trigger to crouch walk. With the sword out, you can use B to block and X to swing. So that's pretty neat. And that's pretty much everything. So now we're just going to make our way to the castle. There are no, as you can see, there are no treasures in this first section where we move towards the castle. So we are just going to be moving along. There's going to be a boulder not right here, but right here is going to be a boulder, so make sure to stop and so you don't get run over by the boulder. And then move past it, and then on the left-hand side, we're going to jump up to the top using the A button. You can actually do a run jump. This is what I'll demonstrate up ahead. What I do want to demonstrate is that you can't climb ledges when you're holding a weapon. You have to sheath whatever weapon you currently have. Another boulder is going to drop here. Now here's that long jump I was talking about. Hold left trigger and move forward to run. We already know this. But you can also press A to jump, which allows you to do a long jump. Very helpful for crossing gaps such as that. Dirk can grab a fire ledge by making a running jump towards it. Yes, he can. Yeah, I already explained all this to you guys. Anyway. Okay. So now up here, we're going to climb this ladder, which again, you need to sheath whatever weapon Dirk is holding in order to climb the ladder, and then just push upwards. Look around me holding right thumbstick and moving in any direction. Again, this is all stuff I already explained to you guys, except for that. Good call. So, you can check your inventory by using the start button and then going to the amulet, which shows you what you currently have right here, and then just your general inventory is going to be right here. As you can see, we don't have much at the moment, but we will have a lot of stuff as we start moving further and further through the game. So stay tuned for that. But for now, we don't have much. We have nothing but our sword to face this castle, but I assure you we will be collecting many an item as we move through the game. Alright, so jump onto this first platform, and then wait for another one to appear right there. Jump onto that platform, wait for another one to appear, jump, here comes another one, and then that's enough to get you over to this platform right here, so let's jump up here, jump onto this final platform, and get shot up into the sky. Anybody recognize this scene? If you play the original Dragon's Lair, you should. Withdraw your sword and get ready. Walk up and then press B to block the attack. Jump forward, press X, and slice through the Cyclops. Once you do that, you can enter the castle. Alright, so now we encounter our first enemy, the Giddy Goon. Press the Y button to lock onto him, withdraw your sword, and then attack the Giddy Goon. Pretty straightforward. There's going to be some, when you bust open these barrels, there's going to be some red liquid here that's going to satisfy as health. Grab that to replenish your health, and then in here, we're also going to find some more health, which we can grab, even though it's pretty useless at the moment. And then we can also strike this switch with our sword to open up this gate right here, revealing our first treasure.
Treasure hunting? I'm in peril? And you're collecting gold?
Why, yes I am, Daphne, because this is 100% walkthrough. So, this screen shows you what you have to collect in this level, which is very helpful, might I add. So, we have 3 more treasures to collect, 2 goblets, 1 diamond, and 1 crown, totaling 8 collectibles, or 8 treasures in this level. So, you'll know, before you move into this room, set your eyes on the diamond, and as soon as you walk into the room, hold down left trigger and run for the diamond. Then immediately turn around and pin yourself at this right door, and get ready to roll through it as soon as the door opens. That's something I didn't explain, which is somersaulting. If you hold left and right trigger and then move forward, you can actually somersault. You don't need to somersault in order to get to the door. That's why I didn't explain it, but it's cool to do anyway. Alright, so now as we turn the corner to the right, the wall is going to bust open. Get your sword out and then start attacking the Giddy Goon. Pretty easy to take down, and it'll give you health. What's inside this chest? Well, treasure. That's our second treasure. Now, there's a goblet up there. We need that goblet, but if we try to step onto the floor is going to open up. So we have to get up there some other way. Here's how. Jump on top of this bookcase right here. Pull out your sword and strike the torch to close up the floor permanently, allowing us to jump up on top and grab the goblet, then jump back onto the ground. Just as an update, that's one of the 2 goblets, one of the 1 diamonds, and we still have 2 chests, or sorry, 2 treasures, 1 goblet, and 1 crown. And then we have everything collected. Again, Giddy Goon, not particularly challenging to take out. They just swing their little daggers at you, which is pretty ineffective. Alright.
Dirk, the wizard is really powerful. To defeat him, you must find the magical objects. They can give you incredible powers and abilities. However, evil beings guard the essences. Defeat the monsters to retrieve them all. The essences can help you in the wizard's reign of terror.
Now we encounter the next enemy. Books. I am not joking. These books are going to come to life in a second and start flying around the room. But they will only do that once I start moving. And that's why I'm not moving. Basically, I'm going to charge at this desk and swing at the book on the left, and then run over to the right and swing at the book on the right. Like so. Now I'm going to charge at the one on the right over here to take out this guy, fall back, and then attack the one on the left. No health lost. And also grabbing the treasure. Now head to this corner of the room and strike the torch once more to open up a secret passageway. Pin yourself up against the wall, peek around the corner, lock onto the goon, and start swinging. Not the only enemy in this room, because the chairs come to life as well. I don't know why, but I never fight them. I just let them hit me and then cut my losses and replenish my health later. I don't know why they come to life, and they're not that fun. They're hard to fight. Because the thing is, it's like they don't want you to fight them. Because the second the chair touches you, it disappears. So it's odd. Anyway, there was a crown in there that we got, leaving us with only 2 things left to collect: a goblet and a treasure, both of which we will be getting in due time. For this section, hold down left trigger and right trigger to somersault underneath the books that are flying back and forth, and make sure you hug the corner to get around before your roll runs out. And then hide in this corner right here to let the bookshelf run past you, then move past the bookshelf, run up the stairs, turn around, ow, and there's going to be 2 books up here which we can just instantly destroy with our sword. Again, no health lost. This is the tricky part. First jump to this bookshelf, turn to the right, leap up on top of this bookshelf, and then crouch. You do not want to risk you really don't want to risk falling off, which is why I recommend you crouch walk to get across, but you can, if you feel confident about it, just walk back. And while you can jump back over there, in fact, I've always done that, where I jump back over to the walkway. In fact, I even think I did that in the last walkthrough I made on this game. I found it's better to just walk back and then jump over here. It just takes less time in the long run. Anyway, this bookshelf is going to collapse, which should give you an indication to watch out for those kinds of things to happen. So hug the right wall here, jump over this hole, and then jump down the hole, grab the treasure, and then if we check, you will see 8 out of 8 treasures collected. We are clear to move into the next room. That's something I forgot to mention. In the description below, you will see timestamps for all the areas in the video. Because what I'm going to do is the way I'm going to cover this game is I'm going to cover it by boss. So each episode is going to consist of the levels that lead up to a certain boss, including that boss. So if you're stuck on a certain level, the timestamp will be down in the description below for you to go check that out. Anyway, let's move on. If we try to move through this doorway, that table's going to crush us. So instead, let's just jump on top of this left wall right here, and then jump over where the table's going to come out, lock onto the Giddy Goon, and smack this guy silly until he falls down. Now we're going to grab the red potion, like so. And if we check our inventory, you'll notice that not only do we have all the treasures that we found, we have a red potion. We're not going to use this right now because we don't need to, but in a pinch, we can drink that red potion to restore a ton of health. Okay, so now around this corner is going to be another Giddy Goon, lock on and attack, and you are done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get that goblet on top of the shelf. So grab on top of this bookshelf, leap over here to get the goblet, and then hop back down. Then withdraw your sword and smash these barrels, then roll underneath the little hatch you just formed, grab the key, and then roll right back out. Now let's check up on the treasures that we have. We only have 2 more, 1 treasure and then 1 crown. And again, we'll be getting both of those in due time. But for now, let's go take this key that we just collected back to the door that we need to unlock in this area. Oh, also, this is the main hall. I don't know if I'm going to remember to say the names of the rooms as we move through them, but we'll see. So, in order to use keys, you have to sheath whatever weapon you currently have, move up to the lock, and once the exclamation point appears above your head, press the X button to use the key, or whatever your action button is. I'm going to be referring to the Xbox controllers a lot, but it's going to differ between PlayStation 2, GameCube, and PC. Anyway. Alright. So now what we're going to do is attack these barrels right here, roll under the fire so that we don't get burnt to a crisp, and then smack this switch to allow us to cross a little bit further over to the left, and then hit this switch to open up the door. There we go, door is now open, and you think we're going to go through that door, right? Wrong. Now there's going to be 2 Giddy Goons right over here, but again, they're pretty simple to take out. Taking out groups of enemies is going to become easier as time goes on, but for now, just focus on hitting both at the same time, and then you just spawn out of nowhere. If you can ping pong back and forth between the enemies, kind of like this, but if you can, you want to focus on one at a time, because multitasking is often going to get you killed in this game. Not true. What am I even saying anymore? Anyway. Alright, so now if we turn around once we hit a certain point, I like to turn around at this pillar, we're going to find that another Giddy Goon has spawned in following that little cinematic, so we're going to take you out right now. Run for the ladder, sheath your weapon, and climb up the top. Like so. Now, once we get up to this walkway, we are going to turn left, and we're going to have to grab onto this rope. Wait for the rope to swing towards you, grab onto it, and then release once you are just over the lip of the walkway. Now, you notice that this rail right here is a little bit different of a shade than the others, right? What happens if you smack it? Turns out it's a switch. It leads you into an attic of sorts, featuring a crown. Only one thing left to collect, and that's the treasure. So let's grab that momentarily. First, we have to open up the doorway. To do that, grab onto this rope and then hit the switch. And if you're having trouble grabbing onto the ropes, don't worry. I had that same problem as well. First off, you have to sheath your weapon. Try to get as straight as possible with the rope. Try and make it so that it looks like it's as straight as possible. It doesn't have to be exact, but I don't recommend trying to jump like this, because then you can't easily line it up. Just try to get it so that the camera's behind Dirk and Dirk is facing the rope. Then try to wait until you see it swing towards you, and then once you see it swing completely towards you, leap for the rope, and then release as soon as you see it kind of come to a stop at the other side. Hopefully that made sense. But at the end of the day, practice makes perfect. Alright, so the safe way to jump down, the dangerous way to jump down is to just jump down. The safe way, however, is to jump and then hold left and right and spin in a circle so that you start rolling. And by spin in a circle, I mean spin the analog stick in a circle. So I jump off here, hold left and right, and then spin the analog stick in a circle so that I start a rolling motion. Alright.
Dirk, save me!
2 Giddy Goons are going to rush your position. Again, focus on one at a time, then turn to the other one, loop around from behind, and attack. Treasure is ours. Check the treasure screen. 3 out of 3 for this level, 11 out of level for all levels. And now I'll make the cinematic because, you know, if you don't know what happens, that happens.
Robot Knight. He has the dragon's ring of power. The ring is one of the essences that you'll need to use against Mordroc. The ring will also grant you certain abilities and attacks. The trick is, how do you get up there?
Well, I'm going to show you how you get up there, Daphne. Move straight ahead, and... yeah, this room isn't very friendly. Okay, so what I recommend you doing, first off, look at the patterns on the floor. Those 6 markings on the floor are where the fireballs are going to hit. But even if you're not in those circles, you can still get hit by blast damage. So here's what I recommend doing. Once you see that the bottom left-hand fireball gets hit, run for the middle and hide towards the right-hand side. Then pin yourself up against the middle so that you are free of any blast damage. Once you see the one in the top left get hit, then run for the chain so that there's no fireballs that can hit you. And once you get onto the chains, you are free from any the fireballs stop firing. So that's nice. And to move between the chains, you just want to spin around in a circle to line up your shot, and then hold forward on the analog stick, and jump. Just like that. Now we're going to jump and roll, and hit this switch. Alright. Now, before we move on, we're going to actually jump up to get that diamond you see up there. So let's do that right now. Leap onto this beam right here. And then this is the tricky jump right here. I like to angle the camera right here so that you can kind of see the diamond. Hold left and forward. Hold down the left trigger. Press forward on the thumbstick. Jump on top and then hold down the right trigger to try and stabilize your landing a little bit. It may take a few tries, but just keep trying. Just try to keep aiming towards the center. Keep aiming towards this beam and aim so that you can try and grab on rather than trying to land on top of it, because you'll more consistently be able to land on here if you grab on top than if you just try and jump on top. Alright, then crawl walk your way or slow walk your way over to the diamond, then hold down left and right trigger to come to a rolling stop, and then you're free to proceed. You're going to hit a checkpoint right here so that if you die, you will reset back to this point. Let's check our treasures right quick. We have 1 of 3 treasures and the only diamond in the level, so that's good. You want to make sure you wait for this to fall, and then jump over it, and then there's going to be some health right here that you can pick up if you lost any in that area, and then there's also going to be some health right here. You're also going to hit a checkpoint right here. I recommend putting away your sword before you move into this next area, though. Remember when I said I don't recommend jumping between ropes in this angle? Well, now you have to. Wait for the rope to swing towards your position and then grab on. Again, patience makes perfect. Wait for the ropes to perfectly align and then jump between them. Same thing here. Don't get greedy. Wait for both ropes to face each other and then jump between them. Patience is the key to that one. Wait for the 2 ropes to crisscross each other like an X and then jump between them. Don't just try and jump between them as quickly as possible. Wait for one of these things to fire, and then enter a roll so that you can move past them safely, and then hit the switch to stop the fire in this next room. Alright. Once you do that, we are going to move into the next area, and you'll see there's a statue right here, guarding a little area with a health container. Don't worry, we'll move the statue out of the way soon enough. But for now, we're going to grab the treasure hiding around this block right here, and then enter this room.
The mana cell. It unlocks magic energy throughout the castle and can enchant just about anything. So be careful. It's full of surprises. Maybe you can use it on the other golden podium you saw earlier.
Why, yes I can. So pick up the mana cell. You have to have your weapon sheathed. So pick it up. Your walking speed is reduced when you have this thing, and you also can't run. But withdrawing your sword or crossbow, we only have a sword at the moment, is going to make you drop this thing, which we are going to do as soon as we step outside of these doors, because it's going to bring the statues to life. And these guys are a little bit tougher than the Giddy Goons, even though they They swing their swords a bit slower, they do much more damage. So you want to make sure you prioritize them over anything else in the area. At least right now. There's going to be bigger threats later on, but for now, they're the biggest threats. Again, withdraw your sword as soon as you enter this area right here. Right here. What? Did not come to life? You should be coming to life right about now. There we go. Watch out for the sword. Take him out. I think it's 4 hits. And then immediately roll under here and grab the heart container. Because like Daphne said, the longer the mana cell is away from a golden podium, the more of a chance it has to despawn and go back to its home. You don't want that to happen because you really don't want to have to walk between these places a lot of time, which is why you have to be very efficient with clearing out those knights, because you need to move between podiums quickly. So move up these stairs and then move to the center of the area and put this mana cell on the podium in the center. Alright. And doing so will cause a knight to spawn in. Pretty simple to take down. 2 knights spawn in this time. Focus on 1 at a time. And then this one as well. Focus on 1 at a time. 3 hits or so, 3 or 4 hits should take it out. This time 3. Attack the one that you're closest to and ignore the other ones. Let them come to you. Again, focus on 1 at a time. Try to get them separated from the others, because if you try to fight more than 1 at the same time, you are likely going to lose the battle. But once you clear out all 3 of these guys, the area will be clear, and a staircase will form. So now we're going to run up these stairs. There's going to be a spike knight up here, which has a giant spike mace, as you can see. We're going to make sure you clear out as fast as possible, because that can do a lot of damage. The first boss fight's in there, and that's how we're going to end off the episode. But before we go inside, we're going to fill up our health from these barrels right here. We're also going to grab the treasure on top of this little pillar right here. And just to confirm, 4 out of 4 treasures for the current level, 15 out of 15 treasures for all levels. So, with that cleared, let's go tackle the first boss battle, the Robot Knight. Okay, so this boss fight has 3 stages, as most boss fights. First thing you want to do is jump over to this area on the right, and then jump over to this area on the left. I know it's pretty vague, but just watch where the... Here's my tip to you. When he sends an electric shock your way, you'll notice that some of the squares don't get electrified. Focus on the area, and don't try to visualize the outline. Focus on one square that you know is safe, and then make sure that there are... You can form 3 blocks that surround it that are safe, and then try and jump for those blocks. Like, I'll pause the screen right now so I can show you how I just did that. I focused on that block and noticed that there were 3 blocks around it that were safe, so then I jumped for that block. Same thing here. This is a bit of a small area, but I'm focusing on this block. See that there's a safe area around it, so I'm going to jump for that, and I'm safe. From here, I'm going to draw my sword, run across, and then attack this guy. And now the area is flipped, so now we're going to watch again. I'm going to be focusing on this block right here and look at the ones that surround it. Leap for safety. Again, leap for safety. For here, I'm going to leap over here for safety. To the left once again. This is a big area. Withdraw my sword, jump, and then press X to attack him. Now the final stage, where he has a red floor. First jump immediately to the right, then jump a little bit to the left, to the right. Now, the method I gave you is pretty slow, but when you've played the game as much as I have, you kind of have all the stuff memorized at this point. That's why I'm moving through this really fast. But if you use the tip I gave you, you should be able to move through this with relatively no problem. And then once you attack him for the 3rd time, you get the Dragon's Ring.
And with it, a new ability is yours. The Whirlwind Sword Attack.
Alright, and that's going to this episode of Dragon's Earth 3D Return to the Lair. So, I would like to thank you all for watching. See you for the next episode, and until next time, this has been a Gaming Magic 13, signing off saying hope you have a fantastic walk good day, and I will catch you next time for some more Dragon's Earth 3D Return to the Lair. Goodbye!